We are here again doing what we know how to do best. We know how to make YouTube videos. And we are going to be making this content as long as we've gotten the time, the energy, the good health. I'm going to be here telling you guys my experiences, which I believe may also be helpful to you guys. And I stopped already chasing the algorithm, It just makes no sense. If you want to limit yourself to what the algorithm is telling you, first of all, you're not going to be creative. You're not going to be building yourself. You're just going to be, playing the role that the algorithm has asked you to play. I love speaking. I love sharing my experiences. And this is exactly what I am going to be doing. YouTube thinks it's okay or not. I do not care. I understand that these experiences that I share, definitely there's going to be somebody somewhere that will find it helpful. This channel is not monetized, so the motivation to keep posting videos on this channel is not money. All right, that being said, I'm back again, going to the warehouse. Yesterday was a lot of work. I'm kind of reordering things. It's been like 6 years of using the same arrangement. Yesterday, I told myself, perhaps this will be a good time to just go around, switch things up. Perhaps it will give me a new air of, motivation to try something new. So it took me a lot of time doing this yesterday. I went to the junkyard twice. Beautiful thing was that I was able to dispose a lot of the dead pies I have. These are items that I will keep telling myself, I'm going to list them. But it's been years. Never ever been able to come to it. Even when things are stagnant on eBay, when things are not selling, I still don't have the motivation to come and list this item. I tend to list some other kind of items, but these small items, these graphic cards, these network adapters and stuff like that, I just don't know why I find it difficult to actually list them. But if it's a PC or a laptop or a monitor, boom, perhaps because I already have a template for listing those things, kind of easier for me. But then I did a lot of cleanup yesterday. All right, and when I came back home, I was terribly weak. I was tired. I had pains. All my joints were aching, and it just got me thinking, okay, take a look at some YouTube video. And what was the video that YouTube recommended to me? A young man talking about, making 15,000 euros a month using YouTube Shorts, that he's posting a ton load of YouTube Shorts every day, and he has been doing it for well over 6 months. And right now, he has been making a consistent income of 10,000 euros, sometimes 15,000 euros every month. He was here flexing these numbers, which is kind of impressive, to be honest. But at the end of the day, there was a plug. You need to buy my course, because this course, I'm going to give you exactly the magic wand, how this was done. Of course, this video was a comprehensive video, but then there still was some things that was left out. I was watching this video with an experienced eye, because I make a ton of YouTube videos, not for one channel, for 4 different channels. I make a ton of YouTube shorts. All right. So I was listening to this video, or this creator speak with, experience in place. There are people that would have listened to that video or would have watched that video, no experience. You swallow everything hook, line, and sinker, and they try to replicate what he's saying, and they see that it doesn't work. At the end of the day, what is the takeaway from this kind of video? Of course, it's very true. You can actually make money using content. YouTube, TikTok, whatever kind of content, Facebook, but the major platforms people tend to, really, hang on to are YouTube and Facebook. Yes, there are his little details to this bold statement, which is what everybody consistently or deliberately just leave out from the discussion. Because if you are told the little details, I'm telling you, it's very possible that you won't take action. All right. You see, if you want to make money online, I'm telling you guys, you must be ready to put a ton load of work into it. And nobody tells you this. the method of making money on the surface looks so easy. You buy stuff from point A and you bring it to point B and sell them, you make a profit. Yes, this is something even a toddler can understand. But the problem is when you start to, to carry out these activities, man, these are high energy activities. And you need to have that energy in the first place. You need to have that drive to embark on these activities. Like I said, somebody just spits it out. Here, you buy something from here. There are so many stuffs in the flea market. Just buy them, put them on eBay. Yes, it looks so easy. It looks something that you can just go ahead and whip out and do. But I'm telling you guys, there are a lot of fine prints that people deliberately leave out. Sometimes unconsciously, because it's possible the content creator must have gotten everything on a platter of gold so easily, and because of that, he or she doesn't know the fine details. But a lot of them tell you that yes, I passed through a lot of stress. This business was not easy. But then when they try to sell you their programs, they try to make you feel like it's something that you can do. There are a lot of things that would determine whether you're going to be successful or not. All right. Yesterday, I tried to list also TikTok. The TikTok shop. My account has been approved to sell there for well over a month. I've not been, it was a month, sorry, for well over a year. I've not been able to list something there because of this same fine print I'm talking about. You go to YouTube, you hear me about TikTok shop. Have you ever tried to list an item there? People talking about TikTok affiliates. The last time I tried it was like 1 year ago. Even getting the items from the sellers was a whole different game. Nobody was answering my request for items to review. Nobody was answering this. And even though on the platform everything looks so easy, people give out free samples and stuff like that. But and people can go ahead and make YouTube videos about it. Yeah, you go to TikTok, you can make money making TikTok affiliates and stuff like that. And then they just tell you request the samples and you get it and you make videos about it. That's so easy to say. When I try to get samples from over 100 applications I sent, nobody replied. This is the reality. And that reality has been cut off from so many money-making schemes that are being proposed to you. All right? New money-making scheme. TikTok has this program where you can sell used items, used laptops, used phones and stuff like that. Okay. How do I go about doing that? All I needed to do was to apply to be approved in this category, which I did. When they approved me, I was already happy. Even though I was happy, I was asking myself, where is the catch? Because if this thing is so easy, why is it that not many people are selling used stuff on TikTok right now? All right, that was the question that I kept asking, and that's an experienced person's question. If it was so easy, why is it that you don't see a lot of used stuff on TikTok right now? Okay, now that my account has been approved, I said, let me go ahead and list a laptop. This morning, I wasted 2 hours. First of all, trying to navigate my way through the platform. At the end of the day, they want you to provide some documents that is very, very difficult to come by. They want you to provide some approval from that brand that you are allowed to sell that product. This is a used product, mind you, not a new product. So you're right. Which brand is going to write you specially that, hey, Hardware Flipper, you are allowed to sell our product? Which brand is going to do for a used product? If it's a new product, I can understand, because a new product, before you can even be approved to sell a new product from a brand like, say, Dell or Lenovo, you have to be specially registered and approved by them, and you will have all these documents that they ask. For a used laptop that was made like 15 years ago, which Lenovo is going to tell you, we're going to provide an official letter in the letterhead of Lenovo that you are allowed to sell it. All right. That being said, because of that document, it's a required fee to set up your listing. You have to attach a PDF file of that document to allow your listing to be approved to go live on TikTok. That's not the end of the cheese, guys. Let's say you are able to manipulate your way and you get a document. You have to bring a certificate of refurbishment which is not it's not going to be accepted if you are just a private individual. You need to be like an approved refurbishing center, or if you but a lot of people that want to sell used laptop, they just want to buy this thing off private homes, bring it and clean it themselves and resell it. This is all we are trying to do. But no, you have to bring that letter of certificate of refurbishment. So let's say I even bought this laptop off of a big refurbisher. I need to now reach out and say, look, I want to sell it on TikTok. I need you to give me a letter, which a lot of them are not so comfortable doing, because nobody knows what you are trying to do with that kind of letter. And we're telling them about TikTok, they are already not interested. And these are the small details that are taken out of these money-making schemes that are being proposed to us every day. And when I as an active player in this part of life, which is buying and selling, discovering all these money-making methods, it kind of sets me up and drives to the wall when I see that over and over and again, people keep coming here to try to make you believe that everything is so set up for free. You can easily just grab. If you are not grabbing, you are doing something wrong and stuff like that. Guys, like I said in the beginning of the video, it's very possible to still make money. But I'm here to tell you that it's not so easy like these people make you feel or make it seems. There's a lot of work to be done. There's a lot of sacrifice. I woke up since 4:30. This TikTok wasted 2 hours of my time. I created a YouTube video that got 2 views, as at now. And I'm creating another one. A lot of people would have been discouraged. That young man that was talking about making money on TikTok, he doesn't tell you the hours, the sleepless nights, the hours of scrolling through the YouTube, app, checking analytics, the hours or the days, the years that was spent, months, shouting into the void, posting into the void, with none of the video getting views. Nobody tells you that. Nobody tells you the hours or the years of disappointment, of tears, of frustration, of even questioning and doubting the whole process. Nobody tells you that. Nobody tells you the pain that you pass through when you spend a lot of hours, like 14 hours editing a video, and the video gets 1 view on this same platform called YouTube. Guys, I've been through it all, and I'm here to tell you, of course, there are times where things don't seem to be working. There are times where things feel so discouraging. Do not give up, all right? But doesn't also mean that you should come with the wrong expectation or the wrong mindset. Come with the right mindset. It might be difficult, but I'm up to it. And in times where things are not working, I'm ready to keep doing the work, even when I do not feel like it. Just to borrow from, the popular line from Hamza. All right? I feel like making you guys this video. I'm going back to my work now to continue doing what I did yesterday. I didn't finish it. Hopefully, I'll be able to sit down finally today and give you guys, a new, like an update of the direction I'm taking this business to. Right now, things are not selling the way they should. But of course, we are still preparing for the times where things will be better again. Trying to see if we can find new outlets to also sell these laptops and desktop PCs and stuff like that. Just, being busy until an opportunity presents itself that we can actually take advantage of. All right, guys, I'm going to see you guys in the next one. Peace out.